Hello friends of Euclid, Geometry Chapter 4 practice test. What I've done is made a series of short videos that will do one problem each, so you can just pick the problem that you want to look at. You don't have to watch a whole video. You can select the problems that you think you need a little bit more opportunity to study, and you can do those. So this is for problem number 1. This is the algebra review. Alright. So, algebra review, look at, there are 4 different examples here, and you must look at the sign in between the polynomials to get a clue on how you do these. Notice there's no sign in between these parentheses, meaning that we multiply. But if you see an addition sign here, then you don't even need those parentheses. You can just combine your like terms. So you have x squared and x squared. That makes 2x squared. Alright, then there's negative 3x, and don't forget to take the sign along with it, plus 7x. So it's negative 3x plus 7x. That makes positive 4x because it's positive. We say plus 4x. And then we have plus 12 minus 15. So that makes, if I put those two together, that makes negative 3. So there's our answer. 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. Alright, on the second example here we have subtraction in between these two binomials. Now, perhaps you recall from your algebra course, you had to pass proficiency on this last year, and this is the one that always gets people on the distributive property proficiency, is that they forget that, see what I've done, I've taken this and separated it out to show you what happens to this. You get negative x. Everything inside the parentheses, if I have this outside the parentheses, everything inside turns to the opposite. Instead of plus 4, I have minus 4y. So instead of plus 4y, minus 4y. This x goes from positive to negative. Plus 4y, minus 4y. Well, the same thing happens here. Now once we've done that, then it's just like the problem above. The first one. Now we can just combine our like terms and be done with it. And you see you have 2x and negative 1x. That goes together to make x. And then I've got negative 9y minus 4y. That goes together to make minus 13y. So the critical piece is if you see a subtraction sign in between these polynomials, then you've got to distribute that negative through the second set of parentheses only, not the first set, just the second. And it turns everything inside that second set of parentheses to its opposite. Alright? Now, for part C here, now you have multiplication. So here's yet another example of what we do, and this is what you have been taught is FOIL. Now the rule here that we have to follow is that the x in the first set of parentheses has to be multiplied with everything that's in the second set of parentheses, the second binomial. So this x has to go times the 3x as well as the negative 4. So x times 3x is 3x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. Alright? Then once I've done that, I also have to make sure that I take the 7 times everything in both of these. 7 times 3x is 21x. And 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. Now, it's typical that we end up with like terms here in the middle. Negative 4x plus 21 is positive 17x. So we have 3x squared plus 17x minus 28. So that's called FOIL. First, outside, inside, last. And I think you remember that from algebra, most likely. So 3x squared plus 21x minus 28. Oops, I'm sorry. I forgot I was looking at above. It's not 21x, it's, once I combine them, it's 17x. Okay, so that's C. Now the thing is, D is done just like C, and there's a common mistake that people make that I want to go over, because we want to cure you of that mistake as soon as possible, but every year we have to work at it because it seems like it makes sense. I see this and I do, okay, I take the first term and square it, 25x squared. I take the second term and square it, plus 4y squared. Alright, do not do that. That is wrong. You get every one of them wrong if you do that. This is the way you want to do it. What this means is the binomial 5x plus 2y squared. That means I'm going to take it times itself. The whole binomial is squared here. Alright, now it's just like this one. I have the FOIL. Alright, so 5x times 5x is 25x squared. And the 5x has to go by times everything in the second binomial. 5x times 2y is 10xy. 2y times 5x is also 10xy. And 2y times 2y is 4y squared. So if you do it this way that I told you not to do, you're going to end up with just these two terms. You missed the middle term. And you'll notice that they are like terms. So I can combine them. So our final answer here is 25x squared plus 20xy plus 4y squared. Okay, so we'll put that up here. Let's get some of the stuff erased so we can have room to write our answer, huh? Okay, so 25x squared plus 20xy plus 4y squared. Alright, there's your algebra review. So, reminder, the sign in between the polynomials is of utmost importance. So, hopefully you made some good notes about that. And that's it for the algebra review. We'll do number 2 on the next video.